I'm gonna let you in a little secret here, Joe. Like, shingles are cool, but those are the widgets that enable us to do what we want to do. And so our mission isn't about like shingles or anything along those lines.
I hope not. That'd be pretty disappointing.
For us, it's that. I wish we had it in front of us, but it's really that we are.
Can you pull it up on your phone?
Actually, I think I can. Yeah.
Hold on.
You don't have it tattooed on your arm yet?
Well, here's the thing. He's going to get it on his leg, actually.
Right, cool.
But here's the thing about that is, we went into literally, does this word make sense and this word make sense? So I would like
we've done that too.
So I would like for him to be able to read it directly as is. While he's pulling that up, I'll skip ahead for a little bit and tell how we came up with our core values. And not just picking random words.
I get that question all the time from business owners because we talk a lot about EOS.
Okay.
So this is great.
Yeah. So we got the leadership team. This was not just me or Adam or somebody. Like the entire team came off site. We went to my house, sat in the living room, and then we had sticky note up on the big ones, the whiteboard notes. You know how you stick on the wall. And then what we did is we made a list of our best employees ever. And then all of their attributes and what they did that we thought really embodied the company. And then we also made a list of all of our worst employees. And obviously most of those aren't here anymore, but any employee that we ever had ever. And it was like, what did they do wrong? Why did they not work here? Why did they not fit the culture? Whatever it was. And we came up with, for every single list there, like what were the best qualities and the worst qualities and what truly in those do we embody as a company? What do we envision our values that we actually work for every day? And so that is what got us our initial lists of about 12 things to pick from. And then we went through, and some of them kind of fit, because there's no wrong answers when you're doing this, right? And then so you go through and you're like, well, this one is kind of the same as this one. And we went through there. And then at the end of that, we had basically, we had 5 things that we thought were the most important to our company and what the people that were successful around here embodied. And then we had, the things that we don't want to see around here and what's not going to work. So that was a really good exercise that Adam brought up, that it wasn't like, hey, we need to pick some stuff. It's like, who are we? This is who we are. This is who we aren't.
Right. That's awesome.
Yeah. And what's great about this, we always talk about, let's make hard decisions now so we can make easy decisions later. And so by doing this exercise, it puts us into a position where we hire and fire on culture and really culture alone. And I'll explain more about that. But when you embody these 5 core values, you're doing well. When you don't, and it's not like, well, no, you have to have these things to be a part of this team, because otherwise you don't win.
Yep.
And so we can make termination decisions based on that as well, and that's what's key.
Yeah, we do the same thing. It's like plus minus with all the core values with EOS. It's people analyzer. It's super simple.
Yeah, absolutely. So going back to what we were talking about a minute ago from the mission standpoint is, so we listed our mission that we're dedicated to adding value in the lives of people we interact with. Knowing our influence extends beyond individual boundaries, we intentionally prioritize our family, our team, our customers, and our community. And we listed things in that order on purpose. So we've got this component that for us, really, really what we're trying to do is to add value to the lives of others. And that might come through increasing the value of their home through a renovation project. That might come through, one of the things I love, actually, I think today, maybe beginning of next week, we're releasing a customer testimonial where it was right after a storm. And this customer's talking about how he had tons of roofers come out to his house. He wouldn't let anybody talk to him about roofs, but one of our guys came out, Eric came out, and he said, knocked on my door. He didn't even say anything about roofs for a while. He started complimenting me on my sunflowers, and then the guy starts talking about how he loves these sunflowers and all that kind of stuff. And then so finally Eric gets around to talking about some. He's like, he just made me feel so good talking about flowers. Of course I let him on my roof. And so we did a whole renovation project for him. It's really cool. But it goes back to, even whether we did or did not do a renovation project for this gentleman, Eric took time to add value to him by even just talking about something that, he's an elderly guy, talking about something that was important to him.
Right.
And so that's an example of that.
Right.
And it goes back to the other part too, then also adding value to the teams, right? Like
exactly.
So our team here and their lives, and there are people that maybe came from a different position, and how can we improve their lives? So it's not just customers. I want to clarify that
Completely.
It's everybody that we come in contact with.
Completely. So yeah, and Aaron's spot on, the way that we did that exercise to get to our core values, which is, again, just the embodiment of what success looks like. And not to say that we're perfect in those arenas by any means, right? There's certainly times as a matter of fact, I just came from a meeting where we were talking about this with some of the team. And I'll just use myself as an example. So if you've ever done strengths finders or anything along those lines, one of my strengths is that I'm a growth-oriented learner, which typically lends to being coachable and all that kind of stuff. So it's a strength of mine that I feel pretty good about learning and developing myself and all that kind of stuff. At the same time, there's still some things that, I get a piece of coaching and I'm like, no, you're wrong. You're right. And then I got to go back and really think like, okay, maybe I do need to soften the edges on X, Y, or Z or whatever the case is. So not that I'm perfect at it. I still have to strive, even though it's a strength, I still have to strive to live out this core value of being coachable myself. And so all of us are pretty committed to that.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're not missing the standard once in a while, then the standard's too low.
Yeah. Oh, that's a great way of thinking about it.
Yeah.
That's a great way of thinking about it.
I love that. Yeah. I stole that from someone. Can't take credit.
I can't even reference
that
who
was,
it is.
I think that was Chad. I think that's my boy Chad, right? Yeah.